In 1928, the Indian physicist C.V. Raman discovered that the visible wavelength of a small fraction of radiation scattered by a certain molecule differs from that of the incident beam.
Even the shifts in wavelength depends upon the chemical structure of the molecules responsible for the scattering. Since inelastic scattering occurs, there is a shift in frequency which depends on the chemical material used.
A molecule with no Raman active modes absorbs a photon with frequency mu naught. The excited molecules returns back to the same vibrational state and emits the light with same frequency mu naught as an excitation source. This type of simple interaction is the elastic Rayleigh scattering.
Raman scattering occurs in 1 out of the 10 million photons and a shift in wavelength is observed.
And it is highly improbable.
The electric dipole vector of a substance when light is shone on it can be written as sum of three components, Rayleigh, anti-Stokes and Stokes, which occur as a change in polarizability of substance.
A photon with frequency mu naught is absorbed by a Raman active molecule which at the time of interaction already is in the excited vibrational state. Excessive energy of excited Raman molecule is released. Molecules return to the basic vibrational state and resulting frequency of the scattered light goes up to mu naught plus mu m. This Raman frequency is called the anti-Stokes frequency.
A photon with frequency mu naught is absorbed by a Raman active molecule, which at the time of interaction is in the basic vibrational state. Part of the photon's energy is transferred to the Raman active mode with frequency mu m, and the resulting frequency of scattered light is reduced to mu naught minus mu m. This Raman frequency is called Stokes frequency.
Raman spectroscopy is based on the effect of Raman scattering. This spectrum obtained is the identity of the substance. Raman spectroscopy is used to identify minerals and biological proteins. Nowadays, this technique is also used to differentiate between imitation materials and the real ones. For example, real gold, real pearls can be differentiated from the fake ones using this technique.
Since every substance has a unique spectrum, this can also be used as a sensor during various chemical reactions.